All right, so in this video I'll go through the type tool. So we will be able to see how we can work with type in Illustrator. So the type tools are here. So it's this T button here. You'll notice that we have this little arrow, and every time we see this little arrow here on the toolbar, that means that this button is hiding other options as well. Other tools are in the same spot, on the same spot. So if you click and hold, like the type tool here, when I click and hold the button, I will find the tool type, and I'll find also other options here, and these are all tools that are available. They have kind of the same purpose, so they are all type related, but they serve different purposes. So let's start with the type tool. So for this one, this is the basic tool that I can use to create type. So if I do a simple click and release somewhere in my artboard, then I am creating type right away. And if you go here over the properties panel, in my case it's here on the right side, you'll find all the properties, all the settings for my type. So I have appearance, I have stroke, I also have the font, the typeface, so I can change the typeface. Here I can change font size and other attributes, text alignment, and I can do other stuff here as well. To start, I will just increase the font size. So yeah, this is just a placeholder. If I type in whatever here, then here's my text. If I do command return or command enter, then I finish editing this text element. So now I can click elsewhere. You'll notice that now I have my selection tool. Yeah, I'm using the selection tool now, no longer the text tool, and I can just move it around. If I hit T on the keyboard, this is the hotkey for the text tool. So I could just click elsewhere and type in something else. So last name, let's do this. So I have first name, last name. I have two different objects here, and this is a way to have, yeah, this sometimes is easier because it lets me, yeah, work with alignment a little bit more freely, or change attributes for for each one of the text more easily than if I had it all together. So this is one way. However, if you want to make a text box instead, so this way I have my text in two separate objects. If I want to have it all together in one object, in a text box, I can use the very same tool here. So the type tool again. And if I draw a text box, and so when I drag and release the button, Illustrator will already place some dummy text here, and then of course I can just delete it and type in whatever I want. So first name, when you hit return, you're just breaking lines, so last name. Yeah, this is a cool thing to point out. So it also applies here. So for this text, this type of text object, I'll make a copy here. By the way, this is a quick way. If you hold Option or Alt and click and drag, you make a quick copy of your object. So I'll double click here just to enter the edit mode. So you'll notice that if I keep typing in my text, it just goes in a single line. However, if I select delete this text here. So when I hit return, then I'll break line, and this is just regular. So this works the same way here and for text boxes. Okay, so I'll delete this guy now. I don't need it anymore. So when I click here, you'll see that I have my text box. So for the text box, it will let you change the shape and all that stuff, and rotate as well. So when you rotate, you notice that you're rotating the path, not the text itself. All right, so yeah, these are some features different from this one. If you rotate it, you know. So these are some features that are interesting to notice. So I'll delete this guy for now, and I'll keep just these two, and I'll do something different now. All right, so I have this first name, last name thing here, and I will create the ellipse, an ellipse, a circle around my text. All right, so I am drawing the circle here. You'll notice that when I'm just clicking and dragging, I have freedom to create whatever proportion I want. If I hold shift while I'm still drawing the object, then I'm telling Illustrator I wanted to lock the proportion, so it's gonna be same width and height. It will be proportional, and when I release the mouse button, then I finish creating my circle here. So one thing about the shapes, here's one place that you can change the color for it. So if you double click this black box, you open the color picker, and here's one place that you can quickly change the color. I'll just cancel this. I don't really need to change the color. I just wanted to point that out. So this is the fill color, the solid square here. And the other one that we currently have with this red bar is the stroke color. So whatever is in the foreground is the one that you are editing, right? So if I want to change this color to transparent, one quick way to do this is to click here. So the fill color is on the background, on the foreground. Now if I click this none button here, then I'm getting rid of the color. All right, so this is, or I could just fill in with a color. This is gonna be, if I'm not mistaken, the last color that I have used. I can fill it with gradient. This is the default fill and stroke color. So if I want my object to be white with a black stroke, I can simply click here, and this little arrow here is to swap fill and stroke. So if you click this, now it's a black object with a white stroke. So this is a quick way to swap, or simply I think it's it's Shift X. So Shift X is the shortcut to do that. All right, so I will just leave it transparent because I want to see just the rest of the text here. All right, so now let's say I wanna create some text around this circle. So there is a tool for that as well. If I click and hold here the type tool, I will find this type on a path tool. So when I click it, and you can just click the path, and then when you click the path, Illustrator will insert some dummy text here around the path, and then you'll notice that you no longer have a shape. You just have a compound shape. I think it's what it's called. So the circle that I had before, now it's just the baseline for my text, all right? And now, of course, I can just start typing in whatever I want here, and it will go around the path that I have. Now, there is another tool here for type. There are other ones, of course, like vertical type tool. There is vertical area type tool and some other options here for vertical. But if you want to create text inside a shape, you can also use this area type tool. So let's say I want to type some text inside this circle. So if I click this circle now, so that's what I did. I'll try to do the same thing again, what I did before. I want to do it now. But then you notice it's not working. Even with the tool selected, it's telling me that you must click a non-compound, non-masking path to create text inside a path. So I can't do this because the circle I had before now is this compound path. It's just serving as a base for my other text. So the way I can do this instead is to create a new circle or a new shape. I can just draw a new circle here. I will delete this anchor tool here. We'll go through that in another video, but for now I'll just quickly do this. All right, so now I have this new shape. And now if I use that tool again, the area type tool, same thing, click the path, and there we go. Here you have your text. Here I have my text inside my shape. And of course, you'll just notice that it's not well aligned here, but this is just because of the handles. All right, so as with any text, I can just select everything, change text alignment, and other attributes of the text here as well. Since I'm talking about this, so character. Okay, so here I have my typeface. This is where I can select a different typeface. Here in the properties panel, I can choose if it's regular, bold, italic, condensed. The other options should pop up here depending on the typeface you're selecting. Here you have font size to make it bigger or smaller. This here is the leading space. All right, so if I leave it just as auto, it will be the automatic setting for the font, for this font size. But I can also customize that, so I can decrease the number. The auto for 72 points is 86.4 points. So if I decrease this number, I will decrease the leading space and the opposite as well. So if I type in like 120, I will increase the gap here. This is kerning. Kerning is the space between two specific characters. So when I place my cursor here for instance, between the L and the O, I can modify this value here. So if I increase the space, you notice because it's aligned center, might not be very easy to visualize. So like 200, you see that just this space here is being adjusted, not the space between every letter in my text. And that's what kerning is. So remember, don't select the whole word. If you do that, you see that that's locked up. But I will change this back to 0. and to show the tracking number. So this, if you want to change the space between all characters in your text, then you need to change the tracking value, and this is where you can, it's the next excuse me, the next box that you have here. All right, so you can just change this here. And if you click these three buttons here, three dots here, you'll find other options. So you can change vertical scale. So if you increase this, you're starting to distort the text. So this is vertical scale, horizontal scale. You can set the baseline shift, character rotation. So you can do other things like all caps. If you want to do all caps, this is a quick way to do this. You also have like small caps. So the first letter will be uppercase, but even the lowercase will turn into small caps. And yeah, and then you have other options here as well, and yeah, like underline or strike through, subscript, superscript, and these are all hidden here on this button. So if you click the three dots, you'll find all the options.